Все нормально. Все good. Окей. Все нормально. Hi all. Welcome to our AMA session. This our guest for today. It's Sergey Potekhin. He's a team lead at the Broxus. And today he will tell us more about the future products migration on the new TIP3 standard. Hello, Sergey. Please, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the invitation. So in a few words, next few days, we're gonna have a very important process called migration. Basically, it's about launching new token standard in the Everscale network. So, which is also important. It affects probably every existing product on Everscale, like Bridge, Dexes, wallets, block explorers, and so on. It's not only about updating the token, but also about updating every single product that works with token. Probably we'll start tomorrow this whole process, and I hope we will finish it on Tuesday if everything works fine. Basically, we will update the bridge. It means that so a few words about the bridge. It will be relaunched from the genesis, every single contract will be redeployed. We will have like new token contracts, new bridge specific contracts, and so on, which is also important. We will publish the instruction for example, for our relays, what they should do to support the migration. It's not a complex process, it's just a few commands, but our bridge relays need to support it. For a regular user, like a token holder, everyone who has USDT or like rep BTC, we will publish for you special interfaces, probably on Bridge, maybe Dex, maybe some other our websites, and your token update will be like automatic, so we will just detect if you have old version tokens, and since you have it, we will prompt you to confirm the update. All you need is just click a button in your crystal wallet, and your old let's say USDT will be burned, and the new one will be minted to you. That's it, so for like regular user, it's kind of simple process. Another important thing is the farming. When we made a farming like a half year ago, we made it especially unupdatable, unupgradable, so the current version of the farming, let's say, can be stopped immediately. Okay, what are we gonna do? We will set the reward speed to 0. So there will be no new rewards in the current farming. Let's call it like old farming. And after that, there is a duration, as I remember, like 4 months or half a year, maybe, into this reward. Like your current reward will be vested to you. So until end of this period, you have to wait until it completely unlocked. Take it, they will be released to you in the old tokens. You will update it, as I said, to the new tokens, and that's it. We also will launch the new farming instance with new pools, so there is no problem for you to right after the update, take out your liquidity from the current farming and deposit it to the new one. The farming also will be updated. It's like first priority. Another thing is our DEX. Since it works with tokens, it also needs to be updated. Probably, I hope we will also finish it until Tuesday. So the instruction for the users who have liquidity position in some pools will be released. Probably it won't also be a complex process. You just need to press a few buttons, probably send a few cheap Everscale transactions, and that's it. So yeah, what is a few words about the new token standard? First of all, why it was made, because we had an old token standard for a year probably, and it works just fine. There are a few reasons. First of all, there are a few minor security issues. They are they are not lead to the steal of funds. You can't lose your funds, but they can lead to some kind of denial of service attacks. When some malicious actor can block you from performing operations with your token, and it's not really good. It should be fixed, and the current version of the token are also unupgradable. So we can't just upgrade all of them in a few minutes. So we have to redeploy all the contracts, all the network, all the products. Another important thing is that the last year in Everscale, we didn't have the common token standards, the ERC20 in Ethereum. So probably every team had their own standard. Like Broxus made their products with their own standard, and Ton Labs use their own one, and so on. We finally found a consensus in our vision of a token standard. So now you can see the current standard on the Everscale documentation website. It is already public. Basically, it will be used across all the teams, across all the products. So it means that there would be some kind of interoperability between products in Everscale. Also, every token will be supported by the, let's say, block explorer, because for now it's a kind of complex process, because everyone has its own token standard and so on. So yeah, it was inevitable process. We had to have the common token standard, and finally we reached an agreement about it. I'm really excited. So yeah, that's just a few words about the migration, why we should perform it. Also, it's we have a wrapped ton token in Everscale. And since we had the rebranding, it should be named Wrapped Ether, and it's also impossible to just set a new name. We have to update it all over the products. We have to create the new token. It will be called Wrapped Ever, probably. So yeah, rebranding is another reason.
Yeah, I think that it's more more community waited the news that everyone was waited it, and we happy to hear that there will be a united standard for the
Me too.
contracts. Yeah, we have collected the several questions from our community. Let me read them. What's new in this migration, and why do we need this? I think that we already explained it. We need
probably.
Yeah, we need a similar standard as ERC20. Are you going to publish instructions for this migration?
Yes, sure. We will publish instruction for every type of user. You know what you should do if you just have USDC on your Crystal wallet. There is like one instruction. What you should do if you are really in our bridge relay network. It's the second instruction. And you know what you should do if you're standing in Uniswap version 2 wrapped ton USDC pool. It's also important question, and we're sure we will publish an article about your just step-by-step instruction. Yeah, just watch the Broxus channels, maybe Broxus Twitter will publish it then.
Cool. Is it related for the SORF smart contracts too?
Well, it depends on the SORF, you know. So SORF sure can support this update and add support for the new tokens. Probably, I'm not sure because I'm not a developer of the SORF wallet. What are their exact plan? But Ton Labs also participated. Thank them very much in the development of this token standard. So yeah, probably in some form it will be supported in the SORF wallet. As I know, there is probability that the exact implementation of the token wallet will be different between like Broxus products and Ton Labs products like Flex Dex and so on. The current standard is not about the exact implementation, but about some core architecture patterns, some core function names, and so on. So yeah, I think that let's say the tokens which will be supported in Crystal wallet probably will be supported in SORF wallet too.
Cool. The next question is, can it might be repeated in the near future? He mean about the migration, migration. Yeah.
That's a good question. I hope that we won't need it for a long time. The new migration, for example, as I said, we have used the non-upgradable tokens, and the new version is upgradable. So if anything goes wrong, there are also some security bug or something else, at least we can update the implementation of the token wallets, and it doesn't affect other products. We don't need to redeploy bridge and so on, and which is also important. So we made it the current token wallet can be updated without the agreement from the owner. You have to confirm that okay, you are ready to update your token wallet. I think it's also an amazing feature. It's about decentralizing and like the community governance of this whole process.
Thank you for answering. The next question is, when you farming?
As soon as it's possible. I hope next week.
Next week, okay. So there's no more writing in questions. So let's move on to the questions from the YouTube. So the Russian questions, just let me translate them. Okay, the first question is, Will integration of selectors provide any new possibilities for smart contracts developers, or is it just something for off-chain developers?
Well, the internal logic of the smart contract, it's about support them. Yeah, let's say in block explorers, you can support any token which support these function IDs. So I'm not sure about the new possibilities for on-chain usage. Also, there are a few improvements in the Broxus implementation of the tokens. For example, as I remember, there was no callback on the mint event, and it was tough to integrate all the mint oriented process in your decentralized application. Now it is way more easy to do. You can just react every time someone mints your token, and so I forgot about this point. Also, like the on-chain usage is a little bit improved. The function IDs, maybe it don't affect the on-chain so much.
Mm-hmm. Next question is, are there any plans on adding TVM cell parameter for view functions?
Sorry, what do you mean by cell parameter? I'm not sure.
Let me clarify. Okay, let's move to the next question. So Alex is asking, now I don't need to unwrap my Evers, am I right?
If you have like Evers, native currency on your Crystal wallet, you don't need to do anything. They are not affected by the migration. If you have wrapped tons token, you have to update it. To do this, you need to unwrap your wrapped tons, receive Evers, and then wrap them to the new token, wrapped Ever. That's like 2 steps to upgrade your wrapped tons.
Mm-hmm. Next question is, if I put there's regarding Sun token, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I put in Sun token farming today, so it's no will be lost, and it will be farming at least for 4-5 months.
I'm not sure about the exactly like Sun token, what their plans, but yeah, basically in the current farming, your entitled reward, as I remember its name, is vested over this period, like 4 months. Yeah, so you will receive the final part of your reward after 4 months.
Mm-hmm. What farming speed will be on new platform? For example, WTON USDT pair.
Good question. I'm not sure. I think that it will be published in our news channels, like in a few days. The new information. Basically, we will need to finish the migration, and after this, the new farming pools will just be launched as soon as possible. Maybe it will stay the same. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Could you provide us your token registry, please? How we could add our tokens there?
Let me see the question. You mean?
Give me a moment. Let me send it to you.
Okay, yeah, I see. If you mean the token registry, like the whitelist for tokens, So this whitelist is located on the GitHub, and I think you can make a pull request to it, and probably it will be accepted. There are still no, like politics about accepting new tokens in this whitelist. Probably we will upgrade our interfaces to support like user-defined whitelists, but you can try just to make a pull request. It's in the Broxus organization, this repo with token list.
It became a difficult practice to use Tom wallet plus playout for TIP3 operations instead of external call, which calls TIP3 wallet directly via private key.
Let me see. I'm not sure that it. Okay, I see. It became default practice to use Tom wallet plus payload instead of external call. Yes, right. In our current implementation, is like the only way to use the token. It's called like internal call. So you have to use your basic account, like your wallet, to initialize the call to your token wallet. So in the previous implementation, it was implemented, but as I remember, it never used, at least once. The whole, also important to say that the whole standard, the TIP3, it does not tell you which way of ownership you should use. It's like that doesn't care about it. So our token implementation uses the internal ownership, and anyone, if there is a need, can create a new token implementation with external ownership by private key. That's okay. These tokens still will be supported in like the block explorer, for example. You will see the token transfers and so
on. Next question is, what are your comments on the standard interface for default functions like transfer are not strictly defined and behavior is not defined?
Well, I can't agree that the behavior is not defined. The idea about the current standard is that it implements, like, basic functionality for detecting the transfers or mint or burn operations. The external method, for example, for initializing the transfer, can be different. It can depend on the implementation. Yeah, as I said, for example, you can have two different substandards, like the internal owned token wallet and external owned token wallet. This method for initializing the transfer can't be the same, between these two standards, because external ownership and internal ownership works a little bit different. Which is also more important, I forgot to say about it, that we will release the so-called substandard, let's say TIP 3.1, or maybe, I'm not sure, TIP 3.2, with exactly our current implementation, like the internal ownership, the external interface for initializing transfers and mint and burn and so on. So this substandard will define the behavior as much as possible. And and it will still be compatible with the general TIP3 standard.
Mm-hmm. When will the documentation be published?
I'm not sure what documentation is meant. Like the description of their standard TIP3 is already published on the Everscale documentation website. It can be found on the GitHub also. So I'm not sure what.
I think he meant this. Yeah, I agree that he meant this.
Okay.
Where some custom parameters can be encoded and some logic like check user's balance and continue original context execution may be implemented.
Let me read it again. I'm not sure that I understand the question right, but let me try to guess. The current implementation of the Broxus standard supports the like arbitrary payloads, the callbacks, and so on. So you can see, for example, the example on the breach smart contracts. They're like this is a specific payload encoded and passed to a token transfer, and then after the transfer is received, the like receive callback is initialized. So this way you can integrate tokens in pretty much any decentralized application. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah. When any guidelines will be available? Already answered. Next question is 214 characters out of 200. There are no URLs.
I think it's about the YouTube chat.
Strange. Yeah. Will the token architecture change in the new standard? Previously, a user created a contract for each token. This gives 6 transactions per swap and a time of about 60 seconds. Will the swap time decrease?
Okay, yeah, great question. I think that the new implementation does not decrease the amount of transactions. You know, there is still internal ownership, which requires you to send an additional transaction from your wallet to the token wallet, and so on. So probably the new architecture, the new implementation don't decrease the swap time. For example, I think it's on the, you know, like it requires some network changes to make this like, for example, swap time less.
Next question. The key application of Everscale bridges and DEX already work with the certain standard of fungible tokens. There are no other applications like a Flex Exchange. Then what will the change of the standard give developers and the entire Everscale project?
Also, good question. First of all, I'm not agree that there are no other applications. And another thing that the like common token standard allows us, for example, to provide a better onboarding for new teams. It allows the more simple development of the new products, when there is only one common token standard, and there is no need to research every product available. So it's like it's extremely important to have like a common token standard for the whole network, and be sure that every product will be using it.
Mm-hmm. Now you can transfer tokens if everyone's wallet conditionally has one code hash. This is a monopoly on the code. In the new standard, will the situation remain the same code for all cases?
Well, if I understand the question correctly, yes, the whole architecture is based on the simple principle that the token wallets can exchange messages only in case they have the same code hash. So yeah, basically, it's like the main rule of the whole token architecture.
Mm-hmm. How to see what the ever tokens locked in the breach are invested in, because there are no achieved node in Everscale to make such requests. Will the new standard help investors with this?
Okay, let me read again. Well, you can always check the connected strategies, and how much tokens are delegated to every strategy on the Ethereum side. You can just, since the vault and the strategies are open source, you can just verify how many tokens are invested in every connected strategy. I don't think that you need like an archive node, and you don't need to make these checks in Everscale. Just use the Ethereum side.
Mm-hmm. When will Tone Breach will be updated?
As I said, I hope we will end the updates until Tuesday. So like the next week. Yeah, I'm sure.
Next week. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. What is your price target for Ever Breach for 1 year from now?
Can we just skip this question?
Yeah, there is no financial advices.
Exactly, yeah.
Could you implement automatic on-chain methods to add user created tokens to your registry, please? So could use their tokens inside Broxus wallet and send them to DEX to sell them, for example?
It's a good question. Let me try to ask. For example, you can remember how token lists work on the Ethereum. There is like a standard, a so-called token list invented by Uniswap a long time ago, and there are like a lot of token lists across the network. And like the main one is controlled by the Uniswap. It's kind of small, maybe less than 100 tokens, and it's important to keep it small. There is always a risk, for example, of phishing. Let's say, if we're talking about on-chain method to add user-created tokens, what if someone adds like 1,000 new USDC tokens? We will have a huge mess after that. So this process always requires some manual checks, some security checks. I'm not sure that it can be done completely automatic. So probably for now, this process will remain the same. And if you want to add your token, well, at least you have to create a pull request and wait until it's confirmed. Unfortunately, I just don't know the other way to do it securely.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for answering. There are 3 more questions. It seems like you're going to update the breach and token first, and only then the new DEX. Yeah, DEX.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I think we haven't started yet, but most likely we'll make it this way. Like the breach and the tokens, it's like the basement also for DEX. So yeah, we have to upgrade them at first.
Will there be a redeployment of the breach, including from the Ether side?
Yes. The answer is yes, because we have thought about the redeployment without affecting the current Ethereum and Polygon, and so on, smart contracts, and unfortunately, it's impossible in our understanding. So yeah, we will also upgrade, deploy like new instances for every single contract that exists right now.
Mm-hmm. How will the bridge functions during this time, and what tokens versions will it support?
Basically, I think there would be some like blackout, a few hours, I hope, of when the bridge will be disabled. We will also publish the exact information a little bit later. So after that, we will try to, redeploy the bridge as fast as possible. It's a little complex because it does not depend on us only. Also, like a lot of relays have to update their relay nodes to support the new version of the bridge until this won't be functionable. So I think that in a few hours the new bridge will be redeployed, and after that every other product will be migrated.
Mm-hmm. The last question is, the old TIP3 standard has been audited by the team. Has a new standard already been audited? By whom? What company? Who's the
Mm-hmm.
who is going to make an audit? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an important question. For now, the new implementation has been reviewed by like the Broxus small team of security specialists, and they fixed a few important issues, as I know. The public audit made by, let's say, Prebender or Nil Foundation will be available later. Yeah, it's extremely important. I agree. For now, there is no public audit for new token implementation.
Mm-hmm. So there's Anton is asking when Dexada.
I'm not sure. I think we should add some more people to this conversation. I'm also interested. I think at least after the migration. So.
The last question is, what is the owner of the pool will input all LP tokens in the black hole, and he cannot move the old liquidity to the new standard. What should he do?
Okay, it's also an important question. For now, the liquidity provider tokens are controlled by the DEX itself. And we are aware of a situation like this when the pool creator have sent LPs tokens to the black hole. Probably we will update the old version of the bridge. We will update it in order to achieve the control over the LPs. After that, probably we will burn the liquidity provider tokens locked on the black hole and mint the same amount to the pool creator. So after that, it will be possible to withdraw your liquidity from the old DEX, exchange it to the new standard, and put it back to the DEX. I'm not sure the exact process, but we are aware of this situation, and we will also publish some instructions in our channel.
One more question. Does it matter who owns the ownership of the root contract?
Oh, well, it depends on the the use cases for your token. For example, it's like a good practice to send the ownership to the black hole if you don't need it. Let's say you have a fixed supply token, so it always makes sense. It doesn't work for every scenario. Let's say our tokens owned by the bridge, so they can be minted each time the person move the funds from the Ethereum to the Everscale. So actually, yes, it matters. It matters, and depends on your use cases.
So I think that was the final questions. There are no more questions from the community. So on this note, I suggest to finish this AMA session. I just want to say the big thank for the Sergey that he came and explain and tell more our community about the future migration. Thank you so much, Sergey.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, have a nice day, evening.
Okay, yeah, you too.